Welcome to the broadcast, everyone. Tuesday, baseball moved to Monday. The Blue Devils welcome into town the Baker varsity reserves. And we will have, and I'm not even sure if it's a 7-inning game or a 9. Guys, do you know for sure? Generally, it would be a 9-inning game, but stranger things have happened. So we'll plan a 9 until 7 innings are over with and they start shaking hands, and we'll know that it was just a 7-inning game at that time. So welcome to the broadcast. We will take a short break, come back with the starting lineups, and we'll be ready to get this thing going. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for watching. All right, let's meet the starting lineups for today's contest. The Baker Wildcats Leading off the left fielder, Tyson Wallace. All right, let's try that again. Had a little bit of an echo from something that needed to be muted, so sorry about that. Tyson Wallace will lead things off. He's the left fielder for the Wildcats. Batting second, the right fielder, Cameron Selbach. Batting third, the first baseman, Alejandro Ronaldo. Batting cleanup, the center fielder, Dylan Roush. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Cade Adams. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Zach Miller. The designated hitter will bat seventh. That's Braden Bivens. Batting eighth, Blake Pruitt. The ninth batter will be the shortstop, Elijah Callan, with Mason Chance on the mound. So it will be Wallace, Selbach, Ronaldo, Roush, Adams, Miller, Bivens, Pruitt, and Callan with Chance on the mound. Starting lineup for the KCK Blue Devils. Leading off, the second baseman, Peyton Basler. Batting second, the third baseman, Jackson Mervosh. Batting third, the shortstop, Garrett Goldbeck. Batting cleanup, the catcher, Frankie Santiago. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Freddie Nolan the fourth. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Levi Martin. Batting seventh in right field, Tanner Pachorik. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, Austin Burrows. And batting ninth, the center fielder, John Kaimi, with Carson Rosen on the mound. So it'll be Basler, Mervosh, Goldbeck, Santiago, Nolan the fourth, Martin, Pachorik, Burrows, and Kaimi, with Rosen on the mound. That's the starting lineups for today's Tuesday afternoon game on Monday. We'll be back. All right, here we go. Game time on the mound. Carson Rosen. He's from Topeka, Kansas, has a 4.63 ERA and a 1-0 record on the season. Martin Kaimi Pachorik, left to right across the outfield. Mervosh, Goldbeck, Basler, Nolan the fourth across the infield with Santiago behind the plate. And that's the defense behind Carson Rosen from Topeka, Kansas on the mound today. The Blue Devils welcome the Baker Junior Varsity Wildcats. Varsity reserves on the schedule for today, and we'll be ready to get this thing started here pretty quickly. Wallace, Bach, and Ronaldo scheduled up for the Wildcats of Baker. Leading things off will be Tyson Wallace, the left fielder. He'll step in to start things off in this one. There's a foul ball back and out of play. So 0-1 the count. As you saw from the flag earlier, maybe some, I'll get you a look at that after this pitch. 0-1 the count on the left fielder, Tyler Wallace. That's up high. So look at the breeze out of the south blowing out to left field. 1-1 the count. Swing and a foul ball. So 1-2 the count. Sunshiny day here on the campus of the Blue Devils. Strike three called, catches the outside corner. That'll bring up Selbach. Cameron Selbach will step in. He'll be up there with one out and nobody on. And there's a hit by pitch. That's going to bring up Ronaldo, the first baseman. Ronaldo will step in with one out and one on. Runner at first base is Selbach after the hit by pitch. There's a fly ball headed down the right field line, and that's going to be a base hit. Headed over to third is Selbach. So Ronaldo takes the first pitch and drives it deep to right field for a base hit. Next up, the center fielder, number 11, Dylan Roush. That'll bring up Dylan Roush, the center fielder. He'll step in with runners at first and third and one out. Roush is the center fielder for the Baker Wildcats. Way out and in the dirt, nicely blocked by Santiago. Ball's going to be out of play. No, come back in. And the play made by Santiago. Wind blowing enough to keep that one in the field of play. It's going to bring up Cade Adams. He'll be up there with two outs. He's the third baseman. That's low and outside, 1-0 the count. On the third baseman, Cade Adams. Want to welcome everyone to the broadcast. Thank you for joining me on this Monday afternoon. Joining us, I should say. There's a swing and a foul. 1-1 the count. Cade Adams at the plate. Reinhold Ronaldo at first and Selbach at third. 2-1 the count now. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Foul ball backing out of play. We'll do the 2-2 again. Ronaldo off with the pitch. He'll have to come back to first. That's up high. Safe at home. That's going to be a pass ball to allow the run to score. It's a ball backing out of play. So 3-2 now the count on that pass ball, and then we'll do the 3-2 again. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So 1 run on 1 hit for Baker Wildcats. We go to the bottom half of the first. 1 run in for Baker, and your Blue Devils coming up. All right, Basler, Mervosh, and Golbeck scheduled up. Mason Chance on the mound for the Wildcats of Baker. He's from Independence, Missouri. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Basler starts the day batting .301. That ball's outside, 2-0 the count. Basler, the second baseman. It's outside for ball 3. So, ball 4 to Basler. That'll bring up the third baseman, Jackson Mervosh.
Next up, the third baseman, number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
Mervosh will step in with nobody out, a runner at first. Mervosh starts the day batting .329. We're going to get a quick visit to the mound and check to see what's going on. He may be checking the arm of the pitcher. Not sure. We'll see as he gets out there. We'll take a short break. We'll see if there's any changes. We'll be back. So the pitching changes being made. Mason Chance maybe pulled something in the arm in one of the first couple of batters or so. So Nico Salmeri will come in. He is from San Diego, California. He will get as much time as needed to warm up due to the injury. And we'll take a short break, and we'll be back for this game to continue here in a few minutes. Welcome. All right, back to play. Wallace, Rouse, and Selbach across the outfield, left to right. Adams, Callan, Miller, and Ronaldo across the infield, and Pruitt behind the plate. And a stolen base by Bowsler. Mervosh starts today batting .329. Runner at second base, nobody out. How high is that pitch? So 1-1 the count. Bottom of the first inning action. The high fly foul ball out of play down the left field line. Probably even outside the fenced-in area of the Blue Devils workout area. 1-2 the count on the third baseman, Jackson Mervosh. Curveball stays up and in. 2-2 the count. Bassler led off with a walk, then promptly stole second. Turned back to second, safe back there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's way up. 3-2 the count.
I can probably do it between innings.
And there's a hit by pitch, so runners at first and second, and that's going to bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck will step in now with runners at first and second and nobody out. Goldbeck will face Nico Salmeri. Salmeri on the mound. There's the bunt right out front and the out. So Salmeri comes down and the 1-3 sack bunt is executed by Goldbeck. And that will bring up Frankie Santiago.
Catcher number 26, Frankie Santiago.
Santiago starts the day batting .337. Takes in 1-0 the count. I'd rather see him swinging the bat than wearing it right here. But that's just me. 2-0 the count. That's outside. 2-0 the 3-0 the count. You'd rather see him on first and then Freddie Nolan
From a perspective that
hit the big bomb.
have Freddie up with the wind blowing crazy.
There's a strike called. 3-1 the count. Either way, we need some RBIs, get things going here. Santiago at the plate, 3-1 the count. And there's strike 2 called. That won't bode well with the umpire. Frankie pitched his bat a little bit prematurely there. 3-2 the count now. So from 3-0 to 3-2. And a swing and a miss. So the strikeout by Santiago. Now wearing it looks a lot different, huh?
Next up, the first baseman number 22, Freddie Nolan.
So that'll bring up Freddie Nolan the fourth. He'll step in with 2 outs now and runners at second and third. That's outside and in the dirt. And thought well of that. Basler started to hit in and then decided against it. So 1-0 the count. Nolan the fourth starts the day batting .319. 1-0 the count on him. Foul ball right back at us. 1-1 the count. Way outside. 2-1 the count. Nolan the fourth at first base today. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. In the dirt. Nicely blocked by Pruitt. Kept it in front. Kept Basler at third. Comes the stretch in the 3-2. High foul ball. That's going to be back and out of play. Basler down at third. Mervosh down at second. Nolan the fourth at the plate. Another foul ball back and out of play. We'll do the 3-2 again. 8th pitch of the at-bat to come. So pump up straight up right here. The catcher Pruitt is going to not be able to chase that down. The wind affected that one so much, making it a tough play. So the 9th hit of the at-bat. 3-2 the count. We'll do it again. Strike 3 called right through there. So the Blue Devils get no runs on no hits. We go to the 2nd inning. Blue Devils trailing 1-0 to the Baker Wildcats. All right, Miller, Bivens, and Pruitt scheduled up. First pitch was a ball. That's high and inside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Miller, the second baseman. Swing and a miss. 2-1 the count. Foul ball back to the screen, so 2-2. On the second baseman, Zach Miller. Swing and a miss of the high heater for the strikeout. It's going to bring up Braden Bivens, the designated hitter.
Next up, the DH, number 31, Braden Bivens.
Breaking ball right through there, strike 1 called. Another breaking ball sprayed down the right field line on the chase, and that's caught in the bullpen by the bullpen catcher. 0-2 the count quickly on Bivens. Bivens, the designated hitter for the Wildcats. That's a little bit up and in. 1-2 the count. Another one right in the same spot. Same outcome. 2-2 the count now. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first base from Santiago to Nolan the 4th to finish that strikeout. going to bring up Blake Pruitt.
Now batting the catcher number 7, Blake Pruitt.
Pruitt will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. It was a line drive headed right at Golbeck. Couple steps to his left. Hit it hard, did Pruitt, but came up empty. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Blue Devils trail the Wildcats of Baker 1-0. All right, here we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Martin, Pachorik, and Burrows scheduled up. Martin is the left fielder. He starts the day batting .345. There's a ball headed deep to left, and left fielder pretty much just looked up. That one is going to hit on the hill and go completely out onto Parallel Parkway for the home run.
That might be the furthest hit ball I've ever seen in this field.
So Martin ties this thing up with a home run to left. 1-1 now your score. That brings up Tanner Pachorik. That's way outside. Pachorik starts the day batting .277. He steps in to hit after that home run by Martin. And that's inside. 2-0 the count.
I'm sure he's not complaining. He's trying to.
Yeah, he's like, I want to hit one up there.
I want to see if I can outdo him.
There's a strike right through there. 2-1 the count. Pachorik, the right fielder. 2-1 the count on him. That's up high. 3-1 the count.
Did it land over those girls? Or did it land by? I couldn't tell.
It landed like 10 feet up the hill behind me. And then bounced into the street.
There's a strike called. Comes the 3-2. Way outside for ball 4. So bring up Burrows.
Now batting the designated hitter number 7, Austin Burrows.
Burrows will step in with a runner at first base. 1 run in on the home run. Burrows starts the day batting .176. Started to take off to second, did Pachorik, but was able to get back in time. There's a strike called at the belt outside half of the plate. 0-1 the count. Runner goes way up high as the throw. And into second base is Pachorik with the stolen base. 1-1 the count on Burrows. There's a strike. Breaking ball back through there, belt high. 1-2 the count now, so protection mode. Burrows must go. And he's hit by a pitch. So that's going to bring up Kaimi.
Now batting the center fielder, number 45, John Kaimi.
John Kaimi will step in with runners at first and second. I've got a prop bet on a bunt here. That stays up high and in for 1-0 the count. So the rotation for the Wildcats is the first baseman is in, second baseman's coming over, and there's a strike called. 1-1 the count. Martin led off the inning with a home run. Pachorik reached on a base on balls, stole second, and then Burrows was hit by a pitch. There's strike two called on Kaimi. Squared the bunt and pulled it back.
Not even doing a good job receiving that.
Two strikes outside. I thought it was buttable.
And another 1-2 count and hit by a pitch.
I think he's making the joke that John Caney's pitching.
So back to the top of the order and Basler.
That brings up the second baseman, number 2, Peyton Basler.
Basler will step in on the left-handed side to face the righty. Basler is from Lansing, Kansas. He reached on a base on balls his first time out. Stole a base. There's a ball that's just wide of first base. Ronaldo comes over and grabs it, but to no avail. So the runners back to their previous bases. Bases are full of Blue Devils. Basler at the plate. There's a strike right through there. So quickly 0-2 the count on Peyton Basler. Looking to make contact to make something happen here. Stays above the zone, that pitch from Salmeri. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-1 the score, both teams with 1 hit. Bottom of the second inning action. There's a ball headed into right field. That's going to score at least 1, probably 2. And it does, so the RBI base hit by Basler. Scores 2. So the Blue Devils go up 3-1.
Next up, the third baseman, number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
It's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh is from Lenexa, Kansas. Squares to a bunt. It's going to be foul. If he keeps that one fair, all is good because the third baseman was staying to protect for Kaimi coming over. That's way outside. 1-1 the count. It's a great job right there by Basler. As soon as that ball was in the dirt, he turned to look and see what Kaimi was going to do. 1-1 the count. That must have missed a little bit low. That's a pretty good pitch right there. So 2-1 the count. That's way outside. So 3-1 the count. Mervosh was hit by a pitch his first time up. There's a ball headed deep to left. And if fair, it's going to be out, and it is. And a 3-run home run by Mervosh. Mervosh with the 3-run home run, and that will put the Blue Devils up 6-1 now. So that'll bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck will step in with nobody on and nobody out. And there's a strike on the outside corner. So the Blue Devils have plated 6 here in the inning so far. There's a 2-hopper to the first baseman, Ronaldo, and he hustles over and steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted ground out. So that'll bring up Santiago. Santiago is from Calle, Puerto Rico. He'll step in with 1 out and nobody on. That's outside. 1-0 the count. How about if he looks for a pitch on the outside half then? And that made it out there deeper much because the flag makes it down toward the area where the bullpen workers are working for. The pitchers are working in the bullpen area. So Santiago with new life. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run and 1 hit so far by the Wildcats. They trail 6-1. And would much rather him be hit on that one right there for sure. 2-1 the count on Santiago. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning action. Nico Salmieri on in relief of Chancers. A high fly ball into right field, shallow right field. The second baseman, Miller, goes out to take care of that. So the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Nolan the 4th. He was called out on strikes his last time up. Nolan the 4th is from Fort Worth, Texas. Ball breaks outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. There's a ball headed into left. And a nice play by the left fielder, Wallace. Diving play to take away extra bases for Nolan the 4th. The Blue Devils score 6 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits. 6 runs on 3 hits. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Blue Devils leading 6-1. I'll be back. All right, to the top of the third we go. Blue Devils with the pitching change.
Hitting off the top of the third for the Wildcats, the shortstop, number 26, Elijah Collin.
Charlie Mosser comes in. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska. He has a 9.95 ERA. 1-0 is the record on the year for him. He'll face Cowlin, Wallace, and Selbach. The shortstop, Elijah Cowlin. Lefty on the mound, Mosser for the Blue Devils. That ball's up and in. 2-0 the count. Lefty versus lefty here. Mosser looking for the strike zone as he comes on in relief of Rosen. There's a swing and a miss of that fastball. So 2-1 the count. It's up high. Off the glove of Santiago and back to the screen. 3-1 the count now. There's a strike, catches the outside corner at the knees. So 3-2 the count as the number 9 hitter, Callan, leads off the top of the third for the Wildcats. Just misses a little bit low and outside. Pretty good pitch right there. So back to the top of the order, and Wallace.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Tyson Wallace.
Wallace is from Viergo, California. And down to second base with a stolen base is Elijah Callan.
I think I just heard of
Wallace was called out on strikes his first time up. That's down low. 1-1 the count. Blue Devils with the 6-1 lead here in the top of the third inning. The Baker Junior Varsity Wildcats into town for a game. It was a swing and a miss, so 1-2 the count. That ball's down low.
You're supposed to be off a little bit. Just very slightly off, but he's way too far.
Behind the header. Yeah. It's like on the inside corner.
There's a foul ball back to the screen. We'll do the 2-2 again.
I feel like trying to squat down and the back of your head's just like right in your face. So you're supposed to be like in the river just barely. But
I like being in front of my 12-year-old people.
Breaking ball right back to the pitcher. And out of his glove, underhands it. Does Mosser over to Nolan the fourth for the out. The way he started hustling over there, I wondered if the ball was stuck in his glove.
Now batting the right fielder, number 6, Cameron Selbach.
It's going to bring up Selbach. That's going to be a wild pitch, and a run will score on the wild pitch. So 6-2 now the score. Selbach is from Topeka, Kansas. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to him. Selbach was hit by a pitch. in the first inning. That's 2-1 the count. Two balls, one strike, one out, 6-2 the score now. Foul ball will do 2-2 now.
No, it said like end of period error. Maybe I accidentally.
There's a strike three called, catches the outside corner. It's the second out. It's going to bring up Ronaldo.
Next up, the first baseman, number 32, Alejandro Reynaldo.
Ronaldo is from Davie, Florida. 1-0 to him. He had a base hit to right field his first time up. Mosser on the mound. Way inside with that pitch. 3-0 the count now.
You're looking for bad walk-ups on 3-0.
Basically.
Swinging a foul back in. Off the glove of Santiago. So 2-1 the count now.
Canadian national anthem.
During the World Series was here last year.
So ground ball and just wide at first base. Nolan the fourth over to grab it, but
Play walk-ups for this.
foul. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now. Carson Rosen went 2 innings, gave up 1 run. Rosen in his first inning of work, he's given up a run. That's outside. So 3-2 the count now on Alejandro Ronaldo, the first baseman for the Baker Wildcats. Strong wind out of the south, sunshiny day, and there's ball 4. So a runner at first base with 2 outs now. It's going to bring up Roush.
And the center fielder number 11, Dylan Roush.
Roush is from Silver Lake, Kansas. Nicely blocked that ball in the dirt by Santiago. 1-0 the count on Roush. Roush popped out to Nolan the fourth in foul territory over by first base. Coaching box his first time on. And that ball breaks inside and off the glove. So a wild pitch allows the runner to move up. 2 outs, runner at second base. The center fielder, Dylan Roush, at the plate. Foul ball back to the screen. So 2-1 the count now on Roush. High chopper foul. That's over into the dugout of the Blue Devils. Bullpen with some work going on. One hopper to Mervosh. He's up with it and throws a one hopper over to Nolan, and Nolan with the backhand digs that out for the 5-3 ground out. The Wildcats get one run on no hits. We go to the top of the fourth inning. The Blue Devils leading 6-2. Correction, that would be to the bottom of the third. Looks like maybe we have a pitching change. We'll get that information. We'll be back. Blue Devils, bottom of the third, they lead 6-2. All right, to the bottom of the third we go. Pitching change made by the Wildcats. Jackson Palmer comes to the mound. Righty from Olathe, Kansas. He will face Levi Martin. Left fielder Wallace with a great running, diving play to take a hit away from Nolan, the fourth. That misses a little bit outside. Had a new pitcher on the mound. Martin is up there as he leads things off. That's up high. 3-0 the count on Martin. Martin is from Olathe, Kansas. That's ball 4. So that'll bring up Pachorik. Pachorik will step in with a runner at first base. Pachorik is from Aurora, Colorado. He reached on a base on balls and had a stolen base his first time up. That ball misses 1-0. Blue Devils with a 6-2 lead. Runner at first base, nobody out. That's up high, 2-0 the count. On the right fielder, Tanner Pachorik. Jackson Palmer on in relief of Salmeri. That's a little bit low, so 3-0 the count. There's a strike right down the middle at the belt. Wallace, Roush, Selbach across the outfield to Adams, Callan, Miller, and Ronaldo with Pruitt behind the plate. And that's ball 4 up a little bit high. So back-to-back walks to start the inning for the Blue Devils here. That's going to bring up Burrows.
Next up, the DH, number 7, Austin Burrows.
Burrows is from Pickrell, Nebraska. He'll step in with runners at first and second and nobody out. That's outside and low, 1-0 the count. That's way outside. Second base is Martin. First base is Pachorik. Burrows at the plate. Way outside, 3-0 the count. Going to get a visit to the mound. There's work going on down in the visitors' bullpen. We'll see if there's a change. We'll be back. Blue Devils leading 6-2. All right, Palmer. Jackson Palmer with some words of encouragement. He will now face Burrows with a 3-0 count. That's in the dirt, so a base on balls. So bases loaded to Kaimi. Kaimi steps in with the bases loaded, nobody out. Kaimi is from Kansas City, Missouri. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. He fouls that one off the catcher in the back to the screen. Six to 2 the lead. Bottom of the third inning action. Martin now at third. Pachorik at second. Burrows at first. Kaimi at the plate. And 1 the count. There's a ground ball headed into right field. That is going to score 2. And the RBI base hit by Kaimi. Scores 2 more. So that'll bring up Basler back to the top of the order. Blue Devils now with the 8-2 lead. Basler will step in. Runners now at the corners. Still nobody out. Way outside, 1-0 the count. Basler walked in the first, had a 2 RBI single to right field in the second. 1-0 the count on him. Runner goes. Fouls back to the screen, does Basler. Basler on the left-handed side, switch hitter facing the righty on relief, Jackson Palmer. 1-1 the count, nobody out. Toss over to first. Back in safely is Kaimi. Had him leaning, then it's overthrown. So the run scores, and Kaimi moves down to second. The ball was in out of play area, causing the automatic move up. So 9-2 now the lead. Foul ball back and out of play. One and two the count. That's low and outside. 2-2 the count. Still nobody out. Blue Devils leading 9-2 batting here in the bottom of the third inning. Got a 3-spot so far. High fly ball to shallow right field. Going to move up toward third, and in safe into third is Burrows. Kaimi.
Next up, the third baseman,
So
number
the
10,
fly
Jackson
to
Murphy.
right field moves the runner to third. That'll bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in now with one out and a runner at third. Mervosh has been hit by a pitch, and then in the second inning had a 3-run home run that bounced and went clean up onto Parallel Parkway. 1-0 the count now to him. That breaks outside for ball 2. Runner at third base is Kaimi. Foul ball back into the net. 2-1 the count. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 runner at third in the person of Kaimi. Mervosh at the plate. Way outside. 3-1 the count. Palmer with an attempt to try and keep Mervosh in the yard with this pitch. A fly ball into shallow right field. Coming in hard and makes the play. And safe at home. So a nice running catch by Selbach in right field. But the sac fly for Mervosh.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Gary Goldbeck.
So that'll bring up Goldbeck. 10-2 the score now. After that sac fly, Goldbeck will step in with nobody on and 2 outs now. There's a strike called. So 6 runs in the second, 4 runs so far here in the third for 10. Way outside. The Wildcats have 1 in the first, 1 in the third for their 2 runs. Blue Devils leading 10-2 batting here in the third. The ball off the foot of Goldbeck, so 1-2 the count now. Goldbeck had a sac bunt in the first inning, then grounded out unassisted to Ronaldo, his second at bat. So 0 for 1 on the day. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Goldbeck at the plate. He's the shortstop. There's a ball right back up the middle for a base hit. So Goldbeck with the base hit it hard right back up through the box. That's going to bring up Santiago. Santiago will step in with a runner at first base after that 2-out base hit by Goldbeck. Santiago at the plate. Snap throw back down to first. Ronaldo with a late tag, but the snap throw by Pruitt. 1-0 the count. Another toss over to first. Goldbeck with the lead at first. Runner goes and going to be safe with the stolen base is Goldbeck. 2-0 the count now on Santiago. Runner now at second base with 2 outs. There's a strike, catches the outside corner at the belt. 2-1 the count. Runner goes. And stolen base by Goldbeck. So runner now at third base is Goldbeck. Santiago 3-1 the count on him. Turns on that one and he's a bit early. Right down there by Coach Sharp at first base. So 3-2 the count now. Three balls, 2 strikes. There's ball 4 outside. So Santiago with the base on balls. That's going to bring up Nolan the fourth.
Next up, the first baseman, number 22, Freddie Nolan.
Nolan the fourth will step in with runners at first and third now and 2 outs. Nolan the fourth has been called out on strikes and erased on a diving catch by Wallace in left field. So the pitch calm is malfunctioning here.
There's nobody on second base, just give him the side, so we'll lead.
Blue Devils with a 10-2 lead. They're batting here in the bottom of the third. Nolan the fourth steps in. First pitch to him from Palmer is high and inside. Ball pops away from the catcher Pruitt, but nobody advances. Santiago. Had a notion to go, but decided against it. 1-0 the count.
1-1.
No.
1-0.
No, he's fine with there. It was 1 step off. There's a strike called. I like to predict what the umpires are doing with their notification with the new rules of how many times you can throw over, how many times you can step off, and all of that. 1-1 the count. There's a breaking ball, catches the outside corner. Got to be careful with what I do up in here when we're all trying to keep the scoreboard going. Nothing that the coaches get more upset about than the scoreboard not being right. There's a ground ball headed into left field. That's going to be an RBI. Santiago headed over to third, and he's safe on the RBI base hit by Nolan the fourth.
Now batting the left fielder, number 34, Levi Martin.
So Martin will get his second at-bat of the inning. He'll step in with 2 outs. The score 11-2 now. Behind on my bookwork. I'll get it done here as soon as I can. That's high and inside to Martin. So the Blue Devils leading 11-2. Runners at first and third, 2 outs, and Levi Martin is hit by a pitch. So Martin had a home run in the second, a solo, was walked, and now a hit by pitch. So he is 1 for 1 on the day. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs. We're going to get a pitching change. I'll be back. Pitching change being made by the Wildcats. Number 36, Hector Maldonado from Arecibo, Puerto Rico, comes on in relief. He will inherit the bases loaded with 2 outs. And Tanner Pachorik coming to the plate. Pachorik has walked twice on the day and had a stolen base during one of those.
Blue Devils, the right fielder, number 3, Tanner Pachorik.
Pachorik will step in with 2 outs. And the bases loaded. Way low and outside. Santiago at third. Nolan the fourth at second. There's a ground ball back to the middle. And the ground ball for back to Maldonado and over to Ronaldo. So the Blue Devils get 5 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits. So 5 runs on 3 hits. We go to the top of the 4th inning with the Blue Devils leading 11-2. I'll be back. Pitching change being made by the Blue Devils. Coming on to relieve Mosser is West Freeze has a 9.00 ERA, yet to have a decision on the year. He is from Salina, Kansas. He will toe the slab, be on the mound. Is Weston Freeze.
Now batting the third baseman, number 12, Cade Adams.
That'll bring up Adams, Miller, and Bivens for the Wildcats. There's a strike right through there. So Freeze comes on and puts his first pitch through there. That falls just a little bit low. 4th inning action. Rosen went 2, Mosser went 1. Freeze coming in here in the top of the 4th. There's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Adams struck out his first time out. There's strike 3 called on the outside corner. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Miller.
Next up, the second baseman, number 16, Zach Miller.
Miller steps in with 1 out and nobody on. That falls a little bit low. Miller is from Odessa, Missouri. 1-1 the count. Did I miss the first? Was the first pitch a ball? Did I see that wrong?
Feel the swing and they said that he was safe.
2-0 the count. Very good. Thank you. And that's down low. So 3-0 the count now. Fourth inning action. Top of the fourth. Blue Devils leading 11-2. That's down low for ball 4. So a called out on strikes, followed up by a base on balls, and that's going to bring up Bivens.
How about in the DH number 31, Braden Bivens?
Bivens will step in with a runner at first base and 1 out. Ball misses outside. Bivens is from Olathe, Kansas. There he takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Breaking ball makes it back to the zone. So 1-2 the count on the designated hitter, Braden Bivens. That's up high. 2-2 the count now.
Odds are so high for Oregon to win college baseball versus San Francisco that
Freeze on relief of Mosser and Rosen. He's from Salina, Kansas. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So a strikeout, a base on balls, and a strikeout, and that's going to bring up Pruitt.
Next up, the catcher, number 7, Blake Pruitt.
putting your hand in it is crazy. I think about that a lot.
There's a check swing called a strike. Pruitt is from Green Valley, Missouri. 0-1 the count on him. He's up there with 2 outs and a runner at first. That's up high. 1-1 the count. Blue Devils leading 11-2 here in the top of the fourth. Foul ball back and into the screen. 1-2 the count. Runner goes. Breaking ball is fouled down by the coach at first. We'll do the 1-2 again. Blake Pruitt, the catcher, earns another pitch with that foul ball. Way outside. Martin, Kaimi, Pachorik across the outfield, left to right. Mervosh, Golbeck, Basler, Nolan the fourth across the infield with Santiago behind the plate. And Freeze on in relief. There's a throw over to first. That ball's going to deflect and head down the right field line. And the Wildcats are going to settle for the runner being at second. Didn't push getting down to third. So Miller moves up to second base on the ball off the glove of Nolan the fourth. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Blake Pruitt at the plate. Foul ball headed for the bushes, or the trees, I should say. Just barely on the far side of the fence to the soccer field. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. So a strikeout, a base on balls, and a couple of strikeouts. No runs on, no hits. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Blue Devils leading 11-2. All right, to the bottom of the fourth we go. Burrows, Kaimi, and Basler up. Do you guys remember how Pechoric made out? There's a strike called. Thank you very much. All right, so there's strike two called. Couple of pitches. That second one catches the inside corner. Burrow's been hit by a pitch and reached on a base on balls. And 3-0 the count. Excuse me, 1-2 the count. I wasn't even close. That's outside, so 2-2 the count. Bottom of the fourth inning action. The high fly ball going to be taken by the shortstop, Callan. The wind makes something like that so tough.
Next up, the center fielder, number 45, John Kaimi.
So that'll bring up Kaimi. Kaimi's been hit by a pitch and had a 2 RBI base hit between first and second. There's a strike right through there. 0-1 the count. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Blue Devils leading 11-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. The Baker Junior Varsity Wildcats in town for one game today. There's a breaking ball, gets back down to the strike zone, so 1-2 the count. Kaimi in right field today. Comes the 1-2. Just a little bit outside. 2-2 the count. I've seen days where that pitch right there is a strike every time, but it's pretty wide. 2-2 the count now. 1 out, nobody on. There's a ball headed into left field for the base hit. So Kaimi has been between first and second, now between short and third, and that's going to be back to the top of the order, and Basler will step in. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a 2 RBI base hit and a walk. 1 out, runner at first. That's low and inside. Toss over to first. Maldonado to Rinaldo. Runner goes. And the stolen base by Kaimi. So runner in scoring position now, 2-0 the count with Basler at the plate. That's low and inside. So 3-0 the count on the second baseman, Peyton Basler.
Second baseman should be a shortstop. This is the third baseman should be a
There's ball 4, that's down low. So Basler with the base on balls. That's going to bring up Mervosh.
Now batting at third baseman, number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
Mervosh has been hit by a pitch in the first, in the second a 3-run home run, and in the third a sac fly. So he has 4 of those 11 RBI. to his credit this game. He's up there with one out. Way outside and in the dirt, nicely blocked by Pruitt. Want to know the count. In the dirt, blocked again by Pruitt. Hector Maldonado on in relief of Palmer, Salmeri, and Chance. 2-0 the count. There's a strike, catches the outside corner at the knees. So 2-1 the count on the third baseman, Mervosh. That falls a little bit low, so 3-1 the count now. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the stretch and the pitch from Maldonado. The ball to the glove side or the backhand side. Going to be scored a hit by Mervosh. The shortstop, Callan, had to go quite a ways with the backhand. So the base hit to load things up. So Goldbeck will step in. He'll be up there with 1 out and the bases loaded. There's a ground ball to going to be safe at second. So Goldbeck pulls it hard down to the first baseman, Ronaldo, for the 3 unassisted. And 1 run does score. So now runners at second and third, and that's going to bring up Santiago. Santiago will step in with 2 outs now. 12-2 lead. Swing and a miss of that pitch. So Santiago down in the count, 0-1. Swing and a miss of that first pitch. Runners at second and third. And that's inside. 1-1 the count. That's up high. 2-1 the count. And that's high and inside. So 3-1 the count. There's a ball headed down the left field line. That's going to be into the bullpen area, way out in front of that. That ball stays fair. It's probably off the fence rather than a home run. But a couple of runs would have scored. There's a check, swing, and safe. And the ball forward to Santiago. So the bases will now be loaded for Nolan the 4th. Nolan has been called out on strikes. Had a diving play in left field by Wallace to take away a hit, and then an RBI base hit. Want to know the count. That's outside. 2-0 the count. Wallace, Roush, Selbach across the outfield. Adams, Callan, Miller, and Ronaldo across the infield with Pruitt behind the plate and Maldonado on the mound. That's inside. 3-0 the count. And that's ball 4. So an RBI base on balls for Nolan. The fourth makes it a 13-12 game. Blue Devils with the commanding lead here. That'll bring up Martin. Martin will step in with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Martin has a solo home run, a base on balls, and a hit by pitch. And that's in the dirt block nicely by Pruitt. Comes the 1-0. There's called a check swing, called a strike. That was convenient. 1-1 the count. That's outside. Coach Goldbeck over at third base with Mervosh there at third. It's a high fly ball to deep left center. And that's going to be out for the grand slam home run by Levi Martin. So 4 more go on to the board as Martin gets his second home run of the game. And it's a big one for 4 runs. And that's going to bring up Pachorik. Pachorik will step in with 2 outs. That misses low and outside. 17 now to 2. That's high inside and off the umpire's mask.
Pitcher completely missed the ball and hit the umpire in the face. This will be an easier inning or actually not easier.
So Pachorik will be in there when we get everything walked off and the cobwebs are cleared out for the home plate umpire. Took one off the mask without being deflected at all. Pachorik has walked a couple of times, has a stolen base and grounded back to the pitcher. Gonna have the trainer come out and he's gonna make a U-turn and head back, so the umpire thinks that he's good to go. 2 balls, no strikes after the ball off the mask of the umpire. 17-2 the score. 3-0 to the count now. Levi Martin with 5 RBI, a couple of home runs, a base on balls, and a hit by pitch. And that's base on balls, and the Blue Devils have sent 9 to the plate again. Burrows will come to the plate for the second time in the inning. Burrows has been hit by a pitch, walked, and fouled out into shallow center field to the shortstop. That's way out in front in the dirt. Fortunate there for Pruitt to be able to make a stab of that. Pachorik at first. Burrows at the plate. Burrows the designated hitter. There's a high fly ball into center field. And that's going to be a blue base hit by Burrows. So that's going to bring up Kaimi.
Next up, the center fielder, number 45, John Kaimi.
Kaime's been hit by a pitch and then had back-to-back base hits. One to the right side, one to the left. The one to the left side. The right side had a couple of RBI that came with it. There's a ball all the way back to the screen and safe at home. On the pass ball is Pachorik. So 1-0 the count now. Runner at second base is Burrows. Behind on my bookwork, I'll go get that run added and totaled in. 18-2 now. Kaimi at the plate. He's the center fielder. That's down low, nicely blocked by Pruitt. 3-0 the count. That's ball 4 to Kaimi. Going to get a visit to the mound. Going to make a pitching change. We'll get those changes. We'll be back. Blue Devils leading 18-2 in the bottom of the fourth. We'll be back. Pitching change has been made by the Wildcats. Number 4, Nick Bergman from Kansas City, Missouri. Tall righty will be on the mound. He inherits runners at first and second base with 2 outs. And he will scheduled to face Peyton Basler, and he is still in the on-deck circle. So it appears as though Basler will hit. So the Blue Devils with an 18-2 lead. And back to action we go. Basler steps in. As a switch hitter, he'll step in on the left-handed side to face the righty, Nick Bergman. There's a strike called inside corner at the knees. Good job by Pruitt right there to pull that one up. Pretty low, but this late in the game, a strike will do. 0-1. That's up high. 1-1 the count. There's an inside pitch. 2-1 the count. So Bergman, the fifth pitcher used by the Wildcats. There's a high fly ball to right field. That ball's going to probably be into the corner and bounces over the fence. So that's going to be a ground rule double by Bessler. So a ground rule double to right field. And that will score 2 more runs.
Now batting at third baseman number 10, Jackson Murvash.
That's going to bring up Murvash. Murvash will step in with runners at second and third and 2 outs. Blue Devils now lead 20-2. That ball's outside. Murvash has been hit by a pitch, had a 3-run home run, a sac fly, and a base hit. That's up high, 2-0 the count. So Murvash is 2 for 2 on the day with a home run and 4 RBI on the 3-run homer. There's a strike called at the belt, 2-1 the count. Foul ball out of play. Just makes it through the gate at the soccer field over toward the right field line. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. So the Blue Devils get is that I can't read it, and it's how many did we get in that inning? Was it 9? 9 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. So 9 runs on 5 hits, and the Blue Devils lead 20-2. We'll be back. All right, Foster will pinch hit. Freeze back for another inning of work. Top of the 5th inning action. Foster steps in, takes ball, then takes strike. So 1 and 1 the count. Foster is from Wakarusa, Kansas. Foster takes strike 2. That's down low, so 2-2 the count. Foul ball, late swinging. It's going to be just down into the woods a bit. So 2-2 remains the count. Breaking ball, high chopper. Basler charges, takes right in front of the second base bag and over to Nolan the fourth for the 4-3 ground out. Back to the top of the order.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Tyson Wallace.
Tyson Wallace will step in. He's been called out on strikes and grounded back to the pitcher. He made a nice diving play in left field to take away a hit from, can't find it. There's a strike called. Took away a hit from Nolan the fourth. There's a foul ball down by the coach at third base for the Wildcats. 1-2 the count. That's down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes and an out. That's down low. Check swing ruled a ball. So we'll go 3-2 the count. It's down low for ball 4. So a 1-out walk to the left fielder, Tyson Wallace. That's going to bring up Selbach.
Next up, the right fielder, number 6, Cameron Selbach.
Selbach was hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored one of the 2 runs. Then he was called out on strikes in the third. There's a strike called at the knees, right down the middle. Swing and a miss. So 0-2 the count quickly. Foster at first, runner goes, and that's fouled. And over into the woods. Right where that ball went, there's another one right there just on the other side of the fence that I don't think everyone got. I'm the ball dog. Those suckers are about $8 a piece, maybe more than that by now, so I keep an eye on where those balls go because they're kind of like gold. There's a pitch. There's strike 3 called top part of the zone, outside half of the plate. So that's the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Alejandro Ronaldo, the first baseman. He'll step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. And the runner goes and is safe. I believe it was low and outside for a ball, but we'll see here in a moment. Want to know the count, we believe. There's a fly ball headed down the right field line, and that's going to be a base hit. And an RBI note. They're going to hold him at third. So Ronaldo with the base hit down the right field line. That was his first at bat, was almost the same spot right there. That's going to bring up Roush. Dylan Roush, the center fielder. He's up there with 2 outs and runners at the corners for the Wildcats. Breaking ball stays up high. 1-0 the count. Roush has popped out in foul territory to first base. That ball's fouled back and out of play, and then he grounded out to Mervosh for his second at bat. That was in the third inning. 1-1 the count. In the dirt, backhanded by Santiago. I believe we have a different catcher. That is Olson behind the plate, I believe. Derek Olson in to catch behind the plate. There's a ball that's headed. So 2 outs, a little bit of noise down front here that the runner wasn't off with that, just about with the fielder's choice. So another run is in on the base hit by Roush. Get my paperwork done here. 3 runs now. And there's a swing and a miss by Adams. So 20-3 now the score. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Adams at the plate. There's a base hit, and everybody moves up 1 base. So Adams glad to get that hit right there because he had been out on strikes twice. That's going to bring up Miller.
How about second baseman number 16, Zach Miller?
Miller's been out on strikes and reached on a base on balls. There's a strike called right through there. Bases full of Wildcats. 0-1 the count. Freeze on the mound. Swing and a miss of that breaking ball. There's a base hit lined into left field. And sending him home, and that's 2 more RBI for the Wildcats. So Miller with 2 RBIs with that line drive into left field. That's going to bring up Bivens. The score is 20-5 now. Bivens has struck out twice. He steps in with 2 outs and 2 on. There's a strike called. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 ons. 3 runs in the inning for the Wildcats. That sail's just a little bit low. Comes the 2-1. There's a foul ball down just barely wide of third base. Mervosh over to take a leak, but he goes right on out and off the fence into the outfield. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And a swing and a miss. They'll have to toss it down, getting away from the catcher. So the strikeout. So 3 runs on 4 hits by the Wildcats. And we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Blue Devils leading 20-5. I'll be back. All right, to the bottom of the fifth we go. Bergman back for another inning of work. Goldbeck, Olson, and Nolan the fourth scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Goldbeck will step in to lead things off here in the fifth. There's a strike called. There's a fly ball headed down the left field line. On the run and headed into second base is Goldbeck with the double. So Wallace hustled over and had a chance but couldn't quite make the play.
Now batting the catcher, number 48, Derek Olson.
So Derek Olson will step in at the plate. That's a ball. Olson is from Westminster, Colorado. He starts the day batting .435. There's a strike called. That's a pretty wide strike zone right there. Maybe that's a 15-run deficit strike zone. 1-1 the count. Foul ball back and out of play. 1-2 the count on Olson. It's a ground ball headed up the middle. Diving, nice play by the shortstop Miller. And over to Ronaldo for the 6-3 ground out.
Pinch hitting for the Blue Devils, number 50, Bryson Vaughter.
So that's going to bring up Bryson Vaughter. Vaughter will step in with one out and a runner at third base. Vaughter is from Topeka, Kansas. He starts the day batting .182. Vaughter spends quite a little bit of time on the mound as well. Left-handed pitcher. Fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. That's up high. Bottom of the fifth inning action. That breaks inside. Comes the pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. 3-2 the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Runner at third. Vaughter at the plate. It's a high fly ball to right field. Selbach is backpedaling and catches that. And scoring easily on the sac fly. So Vaughter with the sac fly RBI on a fly to Selbach in right field.
Next up, the left fielder, number 34, Levi Martin.
So that'll bring up Martin. Martin will step in. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. Martin has a couple of home runs, a solo shot and a grand slam, a walk and a hit by pitch. That misses for ball 1. So 2 for 2 on the day with a base on balls and a hit by pitch, a grand slam, and a solo shot for 5 RBI. That's low and outside, 2-1 the count. Yep. Just spotted those two balls that are just on the other side of the fence. There's a strike on the outside corner. So the foul ball dogs have hit a eureka to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Breaking ball waits on it and into left field. Incoming hard is Wallace to take care of that. So the Blue Devils get 1 run on 1 hit. We go to the top of the 6th. Blue Devils leading 21-5. Pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Uglialoro comes to the mound, number 33, Nate Uglialoro. He's from McKinney, Texas. He has a 3.52 ERA without a win or loss decision. Vaughter now goes to first base to play in the field. And it looks like at shortstop will be Pachorik. Mervosh still at third. And Arthur Alvarez will be at second base. In the outfield, not sure our changes there. Kaimi's still in center. So that'll bring up Pruitt. Pruitt will step in here in the top of the 6th. There's a strike called. Do a little bit of book work here, get us up to date. It's the top of the 6th inning. There's a swing and a miss of the high heater. So quickly 0-2 the count on Pruitt. Pruitt lined out to shortstop his first time and struck out his second time. There's a ball hit it into left field. And the left fielder takes care of that. Left fielder is Martin. Brings up Dylan Foster. He was a pinch hitter an inning or so ago. There's a strike outside corner.
Now batting number 35, Dylan Foster.
Foster with the 0-1 count. 1 out now. Breaking ball breaks a little bit low. Widener is into right field for the Blue Devils. Falls a little bit low. Believe if I have all my changes correctly, Martin is in left, Kaimi in center, Widener in right. Mervosh at third, Pachorik at short, Alvarez at second, Vaughter at first, and Olson behind the plate with Uglialoro. And the punch out, strike three, called on on Foster. Gonna have a pinch hitter here. Pinch hitter will be Chard. Chard is actually listed. Yes, Chard will pinch hit. Aiden Charge from Fredonia, Kansas will hit. Aiden Chard will step in and face Uglialoro with two down. There's a ball hit down the right field line and gonna be foul. Didn't choose my camera right there, did I? So 0-1 the count on Chard. And that fly ball is taken care of by Kaimi. So we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Blue Devils leading 21-5. I'll be back. Pitching change made by the Wildcats. Gavin Alvarez comes in. He is from Garfield, Kansas. He'll toe the slab for the bottom of the sixth inning and scheduled to face Pachorik, Burrows, and Kai Emi. I believe so. Pachorik steps in.
Now up the shortstop, number 3, Tanner Pachorik.
He's walked 3 times, once for an RBI, has a stolen base, and grounded back to the pitcher once. Alvarez on the mound. 0-1 the count. Way outside. Pachorik, Burrows, Kaimi if there's no changes made. Bottom of the sixth inning action. 1-1 the count. That's down low. 1-1 strike. Bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Devils leading by a bunch. That misses inside for ball 4. So Pachorik with the walk.
Up next, the designated hitter, number 7, Austin Burrows.
That'll bring up Burrows. He's been hit by a pitch, walked, flew out to the shortstop, and had a base hit into center field. Low and outside, ball 1 the count. Blue Devils will travel Wednesday down to Fort Scott. That game has been moved forward a day due to the possibility of weather. Then back here on Saturday, and weather looks possible for some more rain, so you might see some games moved around, but right now that is Wednesday. Saturday there is a fielder's choice from the second baseman over to the shortstop.
Now batting the center fielder, number 45, John Kaimi.
So that'll bring up Kaimi. Kaimi will be up there with a runner at first base after that fielder's choice. 4-6. There's a one hopper to the third baseman, so the 5-4 fielder's choice.
Where's Wiedner playing?
Right field is Wiedner. He'll come up now.
Next up, the right fielder, number 5, Jackson Wiedner.
Wiedner will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. And there's a hit by a pitch. So Wiedner hit by a pitch. That'll bring up Mervosh.
Now batting the third baseman, number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
Mervosh will step in with 2 outs and runners at first and second base. Mervosh would like to get something up in the airstream, I'm sure. Here, there's a strike right through there. The wind is blowing extremely hard, as you can see there by the picture of the flag. That misses for ball. 1-1 the count. Foul ball backing out of play. That's headed for the soccer field. 1-2 the count. 2 outs, 2 on. Comes the 1-2. Just a little bit low. That's a tough pitch to take right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. The ball headed over to the right side, and that's taken care of by Ronaldo. So no runs on, no hits. They're in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Blue Devils leading 21-5. I'll be back for the top of the 7th. All right, the pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Caden Brashears, he is from Kansas City, Missouri. He is number 66. He has a 4.15 ERA. No win or loss decisions at this point in the season, but he will go to the mound and take over the top of the seventh for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils lead 21-5. Selbach.
Batting the right fielder, number 6, Cameron Selbach.
Selbach will step in to face Bushears. That's outside, 1-0 the count. One ball, no strikes. There's a foul ball off the fist and headed back behind us. Austin Burrows now at third base, so the designated hitter comes in to play defense. He'll replace Mervosh over there. Martin Kaimi Wiedner across the outfield. Burrows, Pachurik, Alvarez, Vaughter across the infield with Bashers on the mound. And Olson behind the plate if I have all changes correctly. Two balls, two strikes. Ball stays up high. So 3-2 the count on the right fielder, Selbach. He's been hit by a pitch and called out on strikes twice. That's ball 4. It's going to bring up Ronaldo.
Next up, the first baseman, number 32, Alejandro Reynaldo.
Alejandro Ronaldo, he has a couple of hits, both base hits to right field and reached on a base on balls. And safe at second base with the steal is Selbach. I don't know. Swing and a foul into the glove of Olson. I believe 1-1, but I'm not positive. 1-1 the count, and that's outside. We'll see if we get a little help from the umpire here, see if he checks out the scoreboard and verifies this or not. 2-1 is the count. Verification complete. There's a ground ball headed at Vaughter. Vaughter takes it and steps on the bag for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Dylan Roush.
Brings up the center fielder, number 11, Dylan Roush.
Roush has been out on a pop to the first baseman, grounded out to Mervosh, and had a base hit up the middle. So 1 for 3 on the day for Roush. Takes ball 1, 1-0 the count. Comes the 1-0 way outside for ball 2, 2-0 the count. It's a ground ball headed at the shortstop. Pachurik up with it. Nice arm over to Vaughter for the 6-3 ground out. Run scores on that ground ball. brings up Adams. Adams takes a strike, 0-1 the count. So likely down to the last out by the 10-run rule are the Wildcats here. That curveball, whew, that's a pretty wide corner right there, but ruled a strike, 0-2 the count. And in the dirt, 1-2 the count. 1 run in the top half of the 7th here for the Baker Wildcats. That's just a little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Like these hats. Kovic has a hat. He's I don't know.
There's a ball headed into left field, and that's going to be out of here for the home run. The home run by Adams. So Adams with the home run down the right field line. That's going to make it 7 runs for the Wildcats.
Now up the second baseman, number 16, Zach Miller.
It's going to bring up Miller. Miller steps in with 2 outs. There's a strike right through there. Miller has struck out, reached on a base on balls, and had a 2 RBI base hit in this one. There's a ball headed into center field. It's going to be a base hit for Miller. It's going to bring up a pinch hitter, number 19. Not sure. I will.
For the Wildcats, number 19, Jace
Jace
Weggy.
Weggy on to pinch hit here. Weggy is from Hoyt, Kansas. He steps in with a runner at first base and 2 outs. That's outside. 1-1 the count.
There's like 15 ways you could say that, man.
Breaking ball swings through that, so 1-2 the count. So back from that little short break I took there. There's a check swing, and that's ruled strike 3. So at the end of 7, the Blue Devils are leading 21-7. It appears as though we're going to play further. The end of 7, the Blue Devils lead 21-7. As a general rule, that is a 10-run rule. Not sure if they will play more, just to gonna let them go ahead and hit in the top of the 8th if they'd like to swing the bats. It looks like so headed out for another inning. So we're going to the top of the 8th inning. I'll be back. right. Alvarez will be up. He came in to play defense a couple of innings ago.
Batting number 8, AJ Alvarez.
Alvarez will step in. First pitch swinging. And the ball drops. Sorry, I did a poor job of choosing cameras there, trying to get all the information. Alvarez starts the day batting 0, but he has only had 4 at bats. So that's going to bring up Olson. Olson will be up there with a runner at second base. Alvarez with the base hit. There's a high chopper at the third baseman. He is over to Rinaldo, and Rinaldo puts the tag on for the out.
Now batting number 50, Bryson Vaughter.
So that'll bring up Vaughter.
So yeah, we're swinging it and then
Did he jump in the lineup?
So 1-0 the count. 1 out, runner at second base. Vaughter at the plate. Two and 0 the count. That misses low and inside. 3-0 the count. There's a strike right through there. 3-1 the count. For anyone wondering, likely this is a time that coaches are trying to get at bats for some of their younger players or those players that may play a part later on, and there's base on balls.
That doesn't look like Levi Martin.
That is. So that's going to bring up Levi Martin.
Fielder number 34, Levi Martin.
Runners at first and second. Martin at the plate. Martin has a couple of home runs, a fly out to left field, and a walk and a hit by a pitch. 0-1 the count, 1 out. 1-1 the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, and an out. There's a ground ball just enough out in front of that to be foul. Wallace will hustle in. No, that's not Wallace out there any longer. It is Chard in left field. That's outside, so 2-2 the count. Two balls, 2 strikes, and an out. That's going to be headed for the woods.
that'd be a crazy day. So imagine. Oh, never mind. The freaking.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and second base.
Imagine he gets back up again and then he hits a grand slam.
That's strike 3 called. So Martin called out on strikes.
Next up, the shortstop number 3, Tanner Pachorik.
Tanner Pachorik will step in. He's up there with 2 outs now and 2 on. And that's inside. 1-0 the count. Alvarez on the mound for the Wildcats. He's on in relief. In the dirt, blocked nicely by the catcher. Catcher now appears to be Wallace or Pruitt. Still Pruitt, my bad. And there's a one hopper and over on the 5-4 fielder's choice. And the appearance is we're going to now play into the 8th inning. So the Blue Devils headed back to the mound or back to the field, and a pitching change has been made. We'll be back. Blue Devils leading 21-7. We go to the top of the 8th. Pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Number 35, Jorge Sanchez, will come in. He is from Garaba, Puerto Rico. Blake Pruitt will step in to face him. Top of the 8th inning action. Way inside, actually hit him. So Pruitt, with the hit by pitch, will head down to first. That's going to bring up Dylan Foster. Foster will step in with the runner at first base and nobody out. There's a strike right through there, 1-1 the count. That's down low. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Pruitt was hit by a pitch as he led off the top of the 8th. It's a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foster at the plate. It's a ground ball headed at Alvarez. He hands it over to, Pachorik to Alvarez, over to Vaughter for the 6-4-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Chard. Chard will step in with 2 outs. Nobody on to face Sanchez. Breaking ball swung through. 0-1 the count.
That's my first guess so far.
Another breaking ball swings through and strike two. So
Strike three.
quickly 0-2 the count. There's a strike three called. So 3 straight breaking balls for the punch out. And we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Blue Devils leading 21-7. All right, to the bottom of the 8th we go. Burrows, Kaimi, and Wiedner scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Alvarez back for another inning of work for the Wildcats. Burrows fouls that one back over toward the soccer field. Comes the 0-1. There's a strike outside corner at the waist. 0-2 the count. In the dirt. 1-2 the count. There's a ball headed into left field. So Burrows will turn and hold up and come back to first. So Burrows with the base hit into left field. That's going to bring up John Kaimi. Kaimi will step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. There's a ball headed down the right field line. A lot of chasing that's going to be in the bullpen area for the Wildcats. Owen won the count. There's a strike, catches the outside corner so quickly. 0-2 the count on the center fielder, John Kaimi. Outside, 1-2 the count. Ground ball to the shortstop. The shortstop's up with it, and the bare hand grab by the second baseman. Foster on over to first and safe at first. So the fielder's choice. Back to the top of the order, and Wiedner. Wiedner takes a strike. Wiedner was hit by a pitch in the sixth. The fly ball headed to left field, and in to take care of that is the left fielder. The left fielder at this time is Chard.
I thought that was Brady Perry.
So we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Jorge Sanchez will hit. Swing and a miss of that pitch. So quickly Owen won the count. Owen won the count on Sanchez. Sanchez another rip at the ball. So quickly 0-2 the count. And a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So Sanchez strikes out. Got a base hit. No runs on one hit. We go to the top of the ninth inning. The Blue Devils leading 21-7. All right, to the top of the ninth we go. Selbach. He's been hit by a pitch, called out on strikes twice, and then reached on a walk. Down low, 1-0 the count. Selbach, the right fielder. Low and outside. 2-0 the count now.
Yeah, we said 8:30.
There's a strike, catches the inside corner. Down low for ball 4.
Dude, I just should have played this song. You know, the rate on your stuff. 2-1.
It's over. I know already. Just is.
Ronaldo at the plate. 1-0 the count on him. One ball, one strike. Nobody out. Runner at first. Runner goes. Ball's fouled down the right field line. That's going to be out of play. The way the wind is blowing out of the south, you don't want to give up on any ball that's hit in the air over to the right side because the wind could push it right back to you. 1-2 the count on Ronaldo. He's the first baseman. There's a ball headed into right field. So the runner moves up. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out. It's going to bring up Dylan Roush. Roush will step in with runners at first and second. Nobody out. That's down low, blocked nicely by Olson. 1-0 the count. There's a strike right through there. 1-1 the count. Just over the leaping Pachorik, and that'll score 1 run. So an RBI base hit for Ronaldo. That makes it 21-8. Brings up Adams. Adams had a home run his last time up. That was Roush with the base hit for the RBI. Ronaldo had the base hit prior to that. My mistake. Want to get that information correct. That's low and outside. This is Cade Adams at the place. He's struck out a couple of times, had a base hit and a solo home run. 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss. So 2-2 the count now. Down low, nicely blocked by Olson. Three balls, two strikes, nobody out. Runners at first and second. Way outside. And a base on balls. So Olson throws it. 2 runs are going to be in. So Olson throws to third with the runner heading that way, but the base on balls. 2 runs in because the bases were loaded. That's going to bring up Miller. Got a little bookwork to do. That makes a total of 10. That's high and inside. Miller is struck out, walked, had a 2 RBI base hit and a base hit to center field. 1-0 the count on Zach Miller. Top of the 9th inning action, 9 innings scheduled game. Blue Devils leading 21-10. That's way inside. 2-0 the count. Outside. Work going on down in the bullpen. Bartkowski warming up in the pen. 3-0 the count. And there's ball 4. I predict we're going to see Bartkowski here with the bases loaded, nobody out. So the Blue Devils are 20-10. 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning for the Wildcats. We're going to get a pitching change. We'll get that information. Nobody down here in the top of the 9th. I'll be back. Pitching change being made by the Blue Devils. Number 21, Will Bartkowski, will come in. He has a 1.85 ERA. He has a 5-0 record. He is from Seneca, Kansas. He will face, it appears like we're going to have Weg that excuse me, was a pinch hitter at one point, so he would be up for Bivens. So the Blue Devils have loaded up the bases for the Wildcats. Bartkowski will come in and try and put out the fire and minimize the amount of runs scored here. Bases are loaded, and Weg will come up. He is going to step in on the left side. He'll be up there with the bases loaded and nobody out to face Bartkowski. There's a high chopper over the infield, and stepping on second base is Pachorik, and over to Vauder for the 6-3 double play, but a run did score. And that ball is outside, so 21-11. Now the score with 2 outs and a runner at third. Pruitt at the plate. Pruitt is lined out, struck out, and been hit by a pitch. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. He also flew out to left field. So 0 for 3 on the day. Well, the score, the broadcaster streaming has 21.
Yeah. I mean, no, I trust you. That's why I have 21.
We had a sac fly in the 5th inning to get the 21st run. There's a ball headed into right field, and that ball is going to hit in front of Wiedner for an RBI. So now 21-12. And that's going to bring up Dylan Foster. There's a strike called. So ground ball headed to the right side. And up with that is Alvarez, and over to Vauder for the ground out. So the final in this one is 21-12. 5 runs there scored in the top of the 9th. Blue Devils win 21-12. We will travel on Wednesday down to Fort Scott for the first 2 games of that 4-game series this next weekend, and then back here on Saturday for the final 2. We will bring all those games to you, provided internet and all works out down in Fort Scott. That's it for today. Blue Devils win this non-conference game 21. Your Blue Devils, the Wildcats of Baker JV, scored 12. We'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good evening.